I have here my 1853 Enfield rifle musket. This one is made by Chiappa. I've had this since 2008 and had a lot of fun with it, target shooting, hunting, all kinds of crazy stuff. And I just thought I'd give you a bit of an overview of what it's like to shoot a musket and what's involved. I've also borrowed my friend's, which is in a bit nicer condition and not as beaten up as mine. So the Enfield was in service with the British Army between 1853 and 1867. It's been used primarily in the American Civil War and the Maori Wars in New Zealand, but also used by the French, Japanese, Chinese. About 1.5 million were produced. It's called a rifle musket because the barrel actually has rifling, whereas a smooth bore barrel is actually just a musket. It's 58 caliber and shoots a Manet ball. The one I've got is 620 grains, so it's a pretty heavy piece of lead. The projectile's design is really interesting where it has these grooves on the outside where lubricant goes to help the projectile travel down the barrel. It's a big piece of lead, 620 grains, and when it does impact something hard, it expands a lot. When I was hunting with this, a missed shot I dug out of a tree, and you can just see how much that expanded. How it basically works is you put your charge down the top of the barrel, and then you place the projectile down the barrel and use the ramrod to ram the projectile down. Once the powder and the projectile is seated in the barrel, you put the rifle onto half cock. This acts as like a safety. The trigger doesn't work when it's in half cock, and it's safe for you to put the percussion cap onto the nipple. Once the percussion cap's on the nipple, you can go into full cock and the rifle's ready to fire. And when the rifle fired, you go back into half cock and remove the spent percussion cap. On the barrel, you have a front sight and a rear sight. The rear sight is an adjustable ramp sight. The barrel is a huge 39 inches or 99 centimeters. The barrel is so long, so you could use it in ranks. So the rear rank could fire and put this past the front rank. And it also needs to be this long, so when you attach a bayonet, it's effective against cavalry. Shooting this is quite interesting because black powder burns a lot slower than smokeless powder. So instead of a crack like shooting a normal rifle, it's more of an oomph because it's a slower burn. In terms of accuracy, it's actually a lot better than you think. I think it's due to the rifling in the barrel. It really does have a great effect on the projectile. Standing at 100 meters, I was able to get a pretty good group. After about 10 rounds, the fouling builds up in the barrel and you lose a lot of accuracy. With a bit of practice, you can shoot a dinner plate sized target at about 100 meters, no problem. Black powder is corrosive, so you do need to give it a good clean after shooting it. In terms of getting the components to shoot these, it can be difficult sometimes. There's only some gun shops I've found will stock black powder equipment. You may have to hunt around to get black powder components, but the projectiles I got from Pedersoli, Australia, and the rest of it's picked up just from a regular gun shop. Just comparing the size, the 58 caliber to a 308, just to give you some comparison of how big the projectile difference is, it's absolutely massive. They use really nice walnut on these. The color case hardening's really nice touch, and it's performed really well. I do enjoy historical firearms, and friends that are also interested in history love shooting these. Hence, I've got a few friends that have picked up their own as well. If you do want to get into black powder shooting, I highly recommend it. It's really fun. The original arms manual's a pretty interesting read too. It's very military focused, but has some interesting takes on ballistics. If you do have any questions about shooting black powder, just leave a comment and I'll get back to you.
Bayonet!